Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Dad Reacts video. This week, as ever, joined by my Actually, it's not as ever because you were on the last one.
Because the last subject was not my cup of tea, was it? It was Formula One.
Right.
Boring. Mind you,
Yeah.
saying it's not my subject and the things we're going to talk about, this isn't really my subject. But
I was going to say, is the death of
yeah,
infants your subject, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
And before anyone jumps on the fact that we're laughing, like it's not about that. But no, it's good of you to join me. From where are you today? Where are you?
I'm on the balcony in Cancun.
There's normally me that's away.
I know,
And
yeah.
Fez. There he is. Fez, I missed your call, mate, because I was setting up for this, buddy.
Yeah. Well, we haven't done one for a little while, and I wasn't going to do one whilst I'm away, but whilst the afternoons I get a bit of time, good to see you back together. Yeah, love. The afternoons are a little bit quiet here with the little one going down for a little nap. So I thought let's have a chat about what's going on in the world, mate.
Are you sure?
Yes. So today we are starting with, what do you call it? I mean, ultimately it's the murder of Star Hobson, but the brutal beating, the stomping to death of a toddler. Like, what do you call it?
It's also, like, if you read into it, it's the questionable behaviour of everyone else around as well, though, because it was reported, it was flagged.
Reported five times to social services. That was I was reading today, actually. I've got the picture. So obviously, because I was thinking when I was reading about Star Hobson, the mother and the girlfriend, I was like, well, where was the dad? Where was the dad in all this? But I think this is another example of how fathers have very little to no say in the protection or the welfare of the children once they're out of the family home. This is just another prime example.
And if they don't get on and there's no relationship there, they're sort of just cast aside. We've done hundreds now, we can say, of stories and podcasts with people and dads and single dads in particular. Yeah. And it's always the same. If they're not involved because they're not sort of in a healthy kind of relationship like friendship or anything, that's it. They literally have zero involvement, zero say. And this is point and case of it, mate. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. And for people that are watching and will watch this back, just have a read of it, but read it with caution because it's just disgusting. It's disgusting.
I saw that the father had reported them to social services once he'd seen the bruising. Have you seen the bruising? Have you seen the picture of the bruising?
I've seen the pictures, yeah.
So I just whack it up on here. But that was the bruising that the father reported to social services, and social services deemed that she did that banging her head on a table. Come on, mate.
It's utter bollocks. Like, have we passed the watershed? No, not yet. What is the language? But no, it's that case. Like you see people go on about like the last story we did with the young lad. People saying, "Oh, it was reported," and they went and they seen no evidence of this. They have seen evidence of this. Yeah. So where do they step in? Where's that point? I mean, I'm not educated in the world of social services and social care, but surely you see that on a young child that can't really speak for themselves, defend themselves. You've got to follow up. There's got to be something in you where you have to follow this up, and then you get multiple reports.
I don't. Is it weird? Like, is it because we're starting to see more and more of these in the news at the moment of children being murdered by their parents? Do you think this has always been happening, but now they're starting to report on it because the high-profile cases that have been recently, so people are now more aware of it, so they're reporting it more? Or do you think it's just this is not a news phenomenon, but it's happening more often?
No, I think it's more the case of it's now finally being brought to light. Because let's not be naive about it. It goes on. It happens all over the world, and it's horrible. But I think it's now like they're starting to shed light on it and bring it to people's attention, which hopefully will just raise awareness. So when you do think something's not quite right, or you see something on a child, you're not being a busybod by going, hang on, that's not right.
No.
You know what I mean? You're doing your thing as a human being, and you're going, hang on, I need to report this, or I need to have a word, or look into it.
But if people are, like, you know, in Star's case, 5 times it was reported, and 5 times it was deemed there was not a problem. So what you know, I know we say report it, but if the authorities are just not going to do anything about it,
will there be an investigation into the social
services? There's got to be, surely.
And you know what? The annoying thing is, you know that what the thing that's going to come out will be, well, you know, we re-educate them, we'll retrain, we need to look at our training. It'll be all that kind of like nonsense. There won't be any.
Actually, so obviously Fez, we know, works in a school.
Comment is noted.
So, but I'd be interested if you are still watching. But what? So let's say you notice the bruising on a child's face. What do you do? Like what you notice it down and what?
Yeah, be interesting to see what the process is. I mean, when I pick up my little lad from school or after school club, mate, he's covered in bruises on his legs.
Yeah,
like his shins. When I get him home, get him in the bath, I'm like, what the hell's gone on? But then the next day, I go to school and I always ask, like, did anything happen yesterday? Was there an accident or what? Because he's covered in bruises. And once, and they'll never say it again, but once they turned around to me and said, "Oh, well, boys will be boys," and I was like, "Nah, I'm not accepting that. No. I'm not accepting that. I'm not going to pick up my boy and he's got covered in bruises." And then that's the response I get. So it would be interesting to see from a welfare point of view, from a teacher, what do they do? Yeah. How do they follow that up? What is the process? If they write down a comment, where does it go? What happens?
Yeah. See what happens.
Put that out there for any of the teachers, and obviously for Fez, definitely.
And did you see that she was the girl? Was it Savannah? Was that her name?
Savannah.
Savannah was laughing when she was sentenced to life. Yeah.
Did you read it? It was like she started to smirk when they started to say, you know, she stamped on little Star. She stamped on her head, and she was smiling. Like what goes through people's minds? She was smiling when they were reading this back to her, and then as soon as they sentenced her, starts laughing. I mean, how do you keep it together as a judge or anyone else?
What happens in these prisons? Because are all these people just housed together, or are they housed in general population? Because you'd imagine if they are housed together, these people that have, like, so Savannah and Biggie Hughes' mum, not mum, stepmom. So obviously they'll be in a female prison, but likely they'll be in prison together.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do anything bad to each other, are they?
No, but we don't know how much goes on inside a prison, but I'm pretty sure from most of the stories you read or hear, there's certain things that they tend to sort of take care of, don't they?
So Fez says, reporting to the safeguarding officer, even little stuff can lead to a bigger picture. So any comment or unusual bruises or marks is reported. But what happens though? That's what I'm interested in. I get the report and I get that side of it. But what happens after that?
Is it followed up? Is it home visit?
Because like I said, in this case, it was reported to social services 5 times and nothing happened.
Yeah. It's just it's horrible. The poor little girl.
Well, 16 months old, wasn't she, I think?
Yeah. And like you said, we're starting to read more and hear more about this now.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting. Whether you're a parent or not, or maternal or not, that's happened to anybody, but especially a young child, a defenseless young child.
I said it to Carly the other day when we were just around the pool. We were watching these young kids, running around, not caring the world. And I was like, how could anyone hurt?
No, exactly.
A kid like that.
Exactly. It's just it's horrible, mate. It's horrible. And we keep saying we're going to do a podcast on, you know, the sentencings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it does sort of beg that question of, you know, when does the death penalty come in? What happens when something like that, when somebody's laughing that they are being found guilty and they're sentenced to life? Because the mum only got 6 years, was it?
8 years she got.
8 years.
But she got 8 years for basically endangering the life of a child. Right. She obviously didn't do the killing, but she's allowed it to happen. She's culpable.
She's around it. They're together.
Yeah,
they're together. And on a serious note, if anyone knows anything like that is going on, like just report it. Got to report.
So Savannah Brockhill was jailed for 25 years. Took 7 weeks. It was a trial of 7 weeks. I mean, I don't understand why it takes that long to put her on trial. But yeah, no. So 25 years she got. So she got a minimum term of 25 years. So she has to do a minimum of 25 years of that parole.
Right. Okay.
How old was she? Yeah. Because she was only young, I think, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Savannah, I'm trying to see if I can find how old she was. Savannah Brockhill. Age 28. So she's 28 years old. Yeah, so she'll be out. Well, 25 years minimum she's going to get, which she's going to serve. And the mum got sentenced to 8 years, so she'll be out in 4.
Again, it's how messed up the system is.
Yeah. It's such a funny one, though, isn't it? Because obviously, if you look to the Arthur Hughes case, the woman the girlfriend got sentenced to life. The dad also got sentenced to a high 20-odd years. He wasn't there when the kid died. Yeah. He didn't actually do the murder, but it seems to. So the father seems to have got a much more severe sentence than in this case. The one who does the murdering, fine. But then the mum will only do 4 years. It doesn't seem, on balance, it doesn't seem right.
It's not the pair of them took the life. That's it. Yeah. They both had a part to play in it, and they both should be punished accordingly. Not one higher than the other. Both should have got life without parole.
Yeah,
it's a little girl that's not going to be able. She's not going to grow up. It's just disgusting, mate. Disgusting.
Yeah. Speaking of disgusting, moving on, mate. Speaking of disgusting,
we need to.
Katie Price avoids jail again.
How?
She's got more lives than a cat, that woman.
Do you know what? Somebody once said to me, no, I heard it actually. I heard it on the radio. That there's 2 different routes for punishment. Well, 4 different routes for punishment. There's punishments for rich and poor, white and black.
Yeah.
And you think about that. That's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. Let's get it right. So she was banned from driving, I think, for the 3rd time, because she had no license.
Yeah. She
was driving under the influence of alcohol and cocaine.
Yeah.
She crashed the car, and she avoids a prison sentence because she's gone to the Priory.
So as soon as you get done for that, you just say, "I'm going to the clinic." That's it.
Mate. If me or you got done for that, we'd be going to prison.
Of course you would.
So why, mate?
And again, people will say, "Oh, they've got really good lawyers." Nah, come on, it's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to take her. It's going to take her killing somebody for somebody to wake up with Katie Price, because this isn't a one-off.
No,
this isn't a one-off. This happens a lot. She does a lot of drugs. She does a lot of alcohol. Most of the kids don't live with her anymore.
No, exactly. So again, When does somebody draw that line? When does this point come into play? Of no, you're serving your time for that. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, don't care who you are. Like, you don't avoid sentencing like that.
Yeah. So she avoided.
Mate, that'll be until after New Year. She'll do it again.
The mum of two drink driver victims have blasted. The mums of two drink drive victims have blasted Katie Price after she was today spared jail for flipping her car in a horror crash.
Whilst under the influence.
Yeah. So the women whose relatives were killed by drink drivers described the reality star's suspended sentence as disgusting and a mockery of British justice. It is a mockery of British justice.
How many times do we say it?
Yeah. Like you said, mate, it's one rule for the rich and famous, and another rule for Joe Public.
Yeah,
because
100%.
How many? I know people that have done one thing, drugs and drink related, and they go to prison.
Yeah,
even if it's for 10 weeks, 12 weeks, you go.
Yeah.
Not just because she could afford to pay. It was $7,000 that she had to pay to go to the Priory for 8 weeks or whatever it was.
So she basically go there, come out, and do it again. It's not her first visit. She's got a loyalty card, mate.
Yeah,
she gets points.
She's got a parking space outside. She can't drive.
She's got a parking space, but it has to be upside.
Oh,
ridiculous!
Yeah, bro, it's insane. It is pure madness.
Like you say, so on the whole, one rule for one for the other. Goes about the whole thing coming out about the politicians' party and Christmas parties and.
Wow, nice segue into Boris.
Exactly. I watched his announcement tonight, and he was asked about his Christmas plans, and he was like, "No, we follow the rules." But he said it with a smirk on his face. But he had an obvious smirk on his face. He was laughing, mate.
Yeah, but do you know what? Right, I almost. It's going to sound wrong, but I almost appreciate Boris for how open he is about it.
No, yeah, it's rare to have a.
He's not hiding it. Like he's like, what it is, what it is.
Honestly, mate, if you watch that back, and when he's asked about it, he's like, "Yep, we will follow the rules."
So I watched the announcement, but I didn't stick around for the questions after.
Right. Okay.
This whole Omnicom. What was it called? Omnicom.
The Transformer one.
South African variant. That's what it is. So let's just call
Omnicom.
it that. The South African variant is causing alarm. It's 80,000 cases yesterday. Not of that one, but in total.
In total, yeah. 80,000 cases, and obviously any death is shit, but 175 deaths.
And it was only one from this new variant, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
So far.
Exactly.
But then you'd expect that to start picking up, I'd imagine.
Well, you've got to, like they keep saying, you've got to put everything into play, all the factors now. Like they're starting to gather the data. They're starting to, obviously, it's the winter months, it's cold and flus are happening, people already run down, all of this stuff. It's all adding, isn't it? It's all a factor. But now, obviously, they're saying they've moved all the restrictions on the booster, which it's annoyed me that has, because they've gone from 6 months and said, right, we're bringing it down to 3 months now. And now, if you've had it within like 3 months, I asked if I could have my booster early before I went away to Saudi. I was almost laughed at by the receptionist. She was like, "No, it's far too early." I'm like, well, hang on. You're now just saying actually it's okay to have it half the time.
I've had my booster, so I had my 2 jabs. I caught COVID, and now I have my 3rd jab. So if I am not protected, these do not work.
Yeah, I've got mine on Sunday.
Have you?
Yeah, I got my booster on Sunday.
Actually, just speaking on the vaccine, one thing from that announcement I did find quite interesting, because I was actually talking to somebody here who was like, proper anti-vaxxer, don't believe in it, it's nonsense, and it's just the government trying to assert control. I'm like, control for what? What they're trying to like what, and even Carly was a bit like, oh yeah, what's with the vaccine? It doesn't work. It's like, all right. To look at even the stats that they produced on here. Look, if you look at that,
yeah, with the unvaccinated.
So unvaccinated and vaccinated, the difference of people in hospital. It's not rocket science. Just look at the numbers. Do you know what I mean? It's there. Can you see that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty clear that with a vaccine, it's more effective.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's look, at the end of the day, obviously, everyone's entitled to their own opinion and do whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's there and available, and we know that it's like the COVID passport's coming into play now. We know all that stuff is happening. So rather than moan about getting it, just get it done and continue to live life as best as you can at the moment, as best as we all can. Like, just do it. Why add more stress to yourself and say, well, I now can't go to any venues. Why? Because you haven't had the jab.
Yeah.
Well, get the freaking jab.
But yeah, have you seen how stupid the rules are? Right, pubs that have a dance floor.
Oh, is this the 1 a.m. thing?
Will only be required to check COVID passes after 1 a.m. What?
It's like when they started putting the restrictions in from midnight tonight. It's going to be this, and you think, well,
what 1 a.m. Like what?
No. The thing is, like with the COVID pass and getting into places. So I don't know what it's like there, but so in the Middle East,
they don't give a shit in Mexico, mate. I literally couldn't give a fuck.
Mate, in the Middle East, you have to show this pass, similar to the COVID pass, to get in everywhere. Absolutely,
really?
Like all the malls, everything. But if you don't show it or you can't produce it, that's it.
Well, here's the interesting thing. I was actually talking to this guy who was the anti-vaxxer, and I was because they've said any venue, any sporting event that's bigger than 10,000 now has to show it, don't they? When I said that was because when I went to Wembley to watch the semi-finals, you had to provide your NHS COVID pass, which is on the app. Now anyone watching this or watches this that goes to a sporting event in the UK, getting phone signal in and around a football stadium is virtually impossible. When I went to Wembley, I was trying to get onto my app. I couldn't get on. To show them the pass. And they just went, I'll just go in.
Yeah.
Just go in.
Yeah. So you've got, and this is the thing. So for you, if they'd refused you entry because of that, you would have been absolutely fuming.
Yeah.
But then you look on it the other side, then if they was just to let like everyone in, what's the point in the pass? Like you've got to be able to provide it. Like I said, I've seen it working, and for my own peace of mind, I know that once I was in a venue somewhere, when I was overseas, everyone in there has been jabbed or has the pass, and you just think it's just that little bit of peace of mind. Like obviously you can still be carrying it and passing it around.
Yeah, well, that's the counter argument to it, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is why I'm having my jabs and my booster to limit that.
I mean, it makes sense because again at Wembley, so Bobby hadn't had his jab, so he had to provide a negative test to go.
Yeah.
I had it, so I didn't have to provide a negative test. I could just show up and show my COVID pass, but I could still have had it, and then I caught it after. Yeah. So, you know,
no, it's no,
and Bobby caught it at Wembley.
But this is the thing, like we have to all get out of this illusion that just because we had the jabs and all this stuff, you bulletproof. You're not. It just limits, from what I've read and understand, it just limits sort of the impact it will have.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, obviously, I had it, and we both had it, and I was pretty ill with it. And I just remember thinking, if I've not, because I've obviously got a heart condition as well. And I just remember thinking, if I hadn't have had the jab, how bad would it have been? Because I felt pretty ill with it, and I was fully double jabbed. So imagine not having it, how much I'd have struggled.
Yeah, and it's scary to think like when you've gone through it, like you know how bad you felt, and I was thinking because it wiped me out for a few days, and I was just like, wow, like normally fit and healthy. What happens if I hadn't had any of these jabs?
Have you seen Spain? Apparently, I don't know if it's true. Actually, I don't even know why I'm going to bring it up. I don't know if it's true, but some guy told me yesterday that Spain now requires all children to be vaccinated to enter Spain.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, let's just double check that while I've got it. There's some with the guy, the anti-vaxxer, I was chatting to yesterday. He was telling me that they have to go to Spain.
Was this over a few beers?
It was over one beer.
Lightweight beer. Okay.
Lightweight. It was half actually. So yeah, no, it wasn't really a beer.
0%.
Children's reason why young children in Spain.
I don't think it is. I've not seen anything on the news.
To enter. Yeah. Children over the age of 12 have to be vaccinated to enter Spain.
Same as here.
What, you have to be over the age of 12 to come to the UK? Or go to the UK?
No, I think they've opened up the jabs now, haven't they, for 12 to 15?
They've opened it up, but it's like I say, if your kids haven't got it.
Right, okay. But again, mate, I'm all for it. I'm like, well, okay. If you're going to travel, you need to do the things you need to do to get into that country. Simple.
What about the people that are like, well, you don't know what's in it?
Yeah, but do you want to risk getting COVID and then being like, look at that person that there was somebody they were in hospital being treated for COVID, and they were an anti-vaxxer. They didn't believe in it all and everything, and they hadn't had their jabs. They hadn't come forward for their jabs, and they caught it and were hospitalized. So where do you go? Do you want to be that doctor that goes,
yeah,
told you?
Yeah.
Like, I get the stress that it's having on the NHS, and obviously from the announcement he was saying about the thousands and thousands of volunteers that are giving up their time.
Yeah.
Like it's just incredible. Things like that pull the nation, and then the people just get on with it. They just smash it. We always find a way just to get on with it.
I saw someone online saying about when they go, well, we don't know what's in it. Or someone posted, well, you don't know what's in ibuprofen.
Yeah, exactly.
You still take one for a headache.
Exactly, mate. When I pass you a shot, you don't know what's in it.
Exactly.
You just do it.
You just do it.
Well, that's Fez. He definitely did. I know you'd probably just edge it anyway. You don't do shots, do you?
Yeah. I've not had a tequila actually since I've been over here.
Oh, a proper one.
Yeah, I might have a couple of beers tonight then.
Look at him. He's on it now. He's got the taste.
Get a bit Larry.
Because he's been talking to the anti-vax.
There you go. What's this? What's Fez saying? Bayern Munich player has regretted not getting it. He's now ruled out for ages after getting COVID.
Exactly. And I think the more and more people, it's that herd mentality, isn't it? And they used to say about the herd immunity, like more people need to have everything done.
Well, it's like, so I asked the guy why he didn't have it, and he basically said that he doesn't like being told what to do. And I was like, oh, okay.
Is he married?
Yeah.
So he should be used to it,
yeah? Yeah. But no, I don't get that. I just don't generally get that argument. Like,
that's really. It's such a throwaway comment. Like it's just a cop out. Like I get
because I mean, do you have a job? Do you have a boss? So you're probably told what to do every day.
Yeah.
When you arrived at the airport, did you have to wear a mask? Yeah. Were you told to line up?
Follow a sat nav. Do you listen to that when it tells you turn right? Do you just go, I'm turning left here, straight into a ditch?
Yeah, because I'm doing what I want to do.
Exactly. Why have you wrote off your car? Because I wanted to.
Because I could.
The thing, like you've got to. Everyone's like, again, free country. You listen, do what you want. People will always, but don't hate against people that want to get it done, and don't make a scene about it. You know what I mean? Just get on.
Anti-vaxxers are, for me, becoming a bit like vegans. Vegans love to tell you that they're a vegan, and these anti-vaxxers, I'm just like, que sera, mate. If you don't want to do it, don't do it, but just shut up about it.
Exactly. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'll do what I want to do, and you do what you want to do. It's simple.
You do you, boo.
You do you, boo. That's it. Mate, it is, and that's it. And like I say, I'm getting mine done. You've had yours. Fez has got his. So we should be good to be able to show up to any venue. Just show
Get jabbed, people.
Yeah. You do you, boo.
Yeah. All right. Well,
what was the? What else was we gonna?
That was it. That was the 3.
Look at us, eh?
So we said, didn't we? So we said rather than doing
Half hour.
at one point we were doing these videos daily, but it's just a little bit too much commitment, to be honest, to commit to it daily. So I think we're going to move to twice a week, and then one recorded podcast.
Yeah,
a week. But I'm having to do it live at the moment because the Wi-Fi at this luxury resort is not so luxury. So I can't upload videos, so that's why it's going out live. Because to be honest, this is like a really bad time for our usual viewers. It's normally in the morning is when most people are on. And actually, I got a thing the other day. 11 till 12 is actually when most of our people watch.
Okay. On the dinner break when it's on the toilet. Brilliant.
Cheers, toilet, yeah. Well, we just say, tell us where you're from so we can pop up
what you're doing
in your toilet.
Oh, mate.
No, peace. Right, well, look, I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of the evening. What's this?
Hey, make sure you have a couple of beers.
When is the Christmas special? 24th.
Christmas Eve, people. Christmas Eve. It'll be open for people to join in, jump on.
Yeah. A bit of a quiz, a few drinks. If we stay up late enough, we might see Santa coming down the chimney.
Oh, mate, I'm going to trap him. Got a few questions for him.
Yeah. Right.
All right, buddy.
Great.
Enjoy your beers.
I will do, mate.
See you later, mate.
Bye-bye.